To me, enough is enough. They just wanna hurt us, bring us down, bring us down. Enough is enough. We won't let them hurt us, bring us down, bring us down. Enough is enough. You won't bring us down, bring us down. Enough is enough. They just wanna hurt us, bring us down, bring us down.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Indie Wrestling Corner with another episode of Indy Talks. I'm your host as always, the queen of the Indies, Tiffany, and it's panel week, pretty much. I got a bunch of panels going on this week. Today we're talking some BloodStorm Pro with my friend Travis Doom. How are ya?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad that you are back with us. It's been a while, so
Oh yeah.
it's definitely been a while. I think it was like a year ago.
Yeah,
think it was.
right, yeah, pretty much.
So I think it was about a year ago. So, but you're back. We're here. Like I said, it's panel week. We're gonna break down this card. If you guys are not familiar, you should definitely check it out. So yeah. So tell a little bit about the company. That if we have since the last time that you've been on here, and if people are new to BloodStorm Pro, give them a little bit of a little background.
BloodStorm Pro is the East Coast heavy metal wrestling party. That's what we go with. It's kind of some death match, some high flying, just kind of like a little bit of everything. Because those have always been my favorite kind of shows, where it's a variety instead of just one style of wrestling. Because there's so many.
Yeah.
It's like, why drive one into the ground?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So check it out. There's a bunch on IWTV. So if you want to go back and check it out, so you can go there. So you can check out the last interview chat that we had. So let's start with this. Let's start with where it's at. How much are tickets? Tell the fans.
We're at the H2O Wrestling Center in Williamstown, New Jersey. Tickets are $25 general admission, $30 front row. Front row, you get a signed poster with your seat. So, and then we have a 4 p.m. bell time because it's a Sunday afternoon. And I know personally, I hate when Sunday shows just have like an 8 p.m. bell.
Yeah.
It's like people have work and stuff. I understand
that. Yeah, that's kind of like hard. And I think that kind of plays an effect, with some people.
Yeah.
So. And
our shows are usually about 2.5 hours long too. So
it gives you like a little bit of that afternoon. I got nothing to do, I want to watch some wrestling, So it's kind of like local, or if you're home and you can't make it, again, you can watch it on IWTV. So,
right.
And then you can tweet. You should be tweeting. I mean, I always tell everybody, tweet at, your favorite promotions, use the hashtags, all that fun stuff too, pretty much.
This one is BSP The End. I haven't put it out yet, but that's what it is.
Okay, so there you go. So, but again, make sure you're following. We'll go through all the social medias after. Alex is in the chat. He goes, "All hail the queen." What's up, Alex? What's going on? Moonlight Sun's in the chat. What's up, Mike Skyros? He says,
"He's sad."
He is very sad.
And we're doing our job.
He says, "Start with making Tiffany say nice things about me."
Well, the floor is yours. He has great hair. Really
there
does.
You go. Well, I guess I'm supposed to say something nice. Okay, so I can't say that you're sad, even though you're sad, So, well, I'm sad. I'm not going to see you. I'm not going to be there, but I'm definitely going to watch this back on IWTV. So, definitely, I always watch the back if I can. He said his rate just went up.
Well, we'll see about that.
Well, since he's here, I guess we might as well start with his match, right? We can talk a little bit about his match. So if you guys, you guys should all be familiar with Moonlight's son, Mike Sadros. No, I'm only kidding. Mike Cyrus. So he'll be there this Sunday wrestling JB Anderson. So do you want to give us like a little bit of a background for this match?
Sure. I mean, both guys don't have a background in Bloodstorm. This is their debut for both of them. Mike Skyros, I had seen they did a super camp thing back in December where it was like basically a mass scale tryout with a bunch of indie companies coming down to watch people. And he was just very impressive. He had a great look, a great attitude, a little sadness. And JB Anderson is someone that I had seen when he first started in the Maryland area, and just just aesthetically, he's a perfect fit. And I got to talking to him, and I was like, all right, this is a kind of a good dude. I want him on the team because it's very important to me to have people that I feel like good people.
Yeah.
Because it's very important to me that we have a good locker room environment and everything,
Right.
and that people on the show want to be there. So I don't just book anyone.
Right.
But JB and Skyros both kind of passed the test on that, and now it's just going to be a matter of seeing who can get the first who can get the momentum going with their first match here.
Yeah, definitely. So, again, Mike Skyros, he's been on this podcast multiple times, so a lot of people should be familiar with him. Very good. That's pretty cool with that you got to see him at that in December, the camp, which was amazing because I know a lot of promoters had gone there to go see and then found a whole bunch of wrestlers. So I'm happy for Mike that he's all over the place, that, everybody gets to have a little bit of the Moonlight sun, even though he's a little Moonlight sad. I know I've seen JB Anderson a little bit, in the Jersey scene, through some promotions, pretty much. So this should be a pretty interesting match. So, so I'll say something nice, Mike. You better win. Maybe I won't be mean to you. Maybe I'll stop saying you're sad, just for one day, maybe. Just one day. So, but so this is gonna be a really good match. So definitely check this out.
Yeah. Excited to see that one.
Yeah, so definitely. So I'm looking forward to this one. So, here, let's talk about this one. So I have the next one because I have it loaded in the program for you guys here. So Bam Sullivan and Lord Crew. Oh man, damn. How did this come about? Because this is really interesting, and I think, is this a first time matchup for them both, or have they been in the ring before?
I think Bam said they've done triple threats or something, but I think this is their first singles match. And Bam also points out that he's never won in a match with Lord Crew. So that's what we're starting with right there. He's kind of behind the 8 ball. So this match is actually at the following show. We're going to be introducing a new belt for the death match kind of guys, called the Deathcore title.
Right.
And so the winner of this match will be going into a 4-way to determine the first champion at the following show. One of the other matches has, stakes with that also. And then Raven Haddock is the 4th guy as a result of winning the main event of our last show.
Oh, that's awesome.
But, it's a hardcore rules match. So, probably won't be so much glass and everything if you're expecting that. But I find this one interesting because they're both guys that are very strong just as wrestlers without any kind of, weapons or gimmicks. And we're giving them the leeway to, introduce things that they see fit. And I think, I said every match on this show could potentially steal the show. That definitely goes for this one.
Yeah, this was definitely one that I was like, oh, this is interesting. I said, I didn't think that they had a singles match before, so I think this is going to be really, really good. So has the belt been debuted yet, or it's going to be debuted on the day of?
It's still being made, so it'll probably be debuting at that following show.
Okay, so stay tuned for that. That's pretty cool. So I like that. So are you are you gonna do like different styles of like hardcore per match, like for this, or?
Well, like I said, we have one of the other matches to determine the contenders is on this show, and I guess we'll cover that when we get to it. But yeah, it'll probably just be like, it could be anything from like a no DQ match to like 200 light tubes. Like we have to, we'll kind of see what the situation calls for.
Yeah.
Because that's like the thing with me with like hardcore and death matches. There isn't always that personal issue that makes it, you need to go right to the most violent matches.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it is just a matter of two guys that have reputations and one of them wants to prove something, so it gets a little more escalated, and it'll just be kind of a case by case basis. Well, it could maybe the champion can determine the stipulation.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I kind of like when you have like different matches and different like steps to it for even like a hardcore, like let's say like, oh, this is just going to be a tables match, or this is just going to be a barbed wire match, or light tubes. I kind of like that because then it makes it a little bit like different for each match.
Exactly. Yes.
So I kind of, that's why I was like going at that, because I was curious, like, if that's like the style that it's gonna go to. So, but even like if champion decides, so I like that idea. So I don't know, let me know if you guys are watching this later, or if you're in the chat, who do you think is gonna win, what's the possibilities of who's gonna be the champion. So we'll see. So what match do you want to talk about next? There's so many matches, like
well, I guess we could do the rejects match.
Okay,
next.
let's do that. So I'm pulling this up right now. So so you guys see this on my screen if you're listening to the audio. Again, you can go back to the video, you can watch it if you guys watching it live. Here it is up on the screen. So we were just saying off air that the last show, unfortunately, the rejects, had to cancel. So they're back finally. And like Glass Hell Death Match. So
yes. So this is another match that, the winning team will be going into that four-way with the winner of Lord Crew and Bam Sullivan,
right,
and Raven Hat, which we haven't, finalized the stipulation for the four-way yet, but it's going to be something crazy when we do that. This is a Glass Hell match, which just be a lot of tubes and pains, like, just basically as much glass as we can get in there. This is kind of like what I was just saying, where it's not guys that necessarily have an issue with each other as much as guys that just have something to prove in a way. Like, John Wayne Murdoch and Satu are very established. Remington Roar is building his name. He's been kind of in the Midwest, and I feel hasn't gotten a ton of exposure, even though he's been very good for a while.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with him, so interesting. Obviously, like, I'm familiar with Alex Stretch. He's been on this podcast, so if you guys want to learn a little more. Same thing with the Rejects. They've both been on this podcast as well. So, but yeah, so he's kind of new to me, so I'm really curious how this is going to turn out, and that's why I like so many different promotions, because I always find new people. So.
And then this will be like a big test for Alex Stretch, because, he's going to be in the ring with John Wayne Murdoch that, maybe one of the biggest names he's wrestled.
Yeah.
Like, he was trained by Matt Tremont, so he kind of has that as groundwork, but this will, I think, be a big test for him. Stretch and Remington are kind of going to be a full-time tag team for us. They're called Blood and Thunder. Unfortunately, I didn't put in the match graphic, but that is their team name.
This is why we do these podcasts. So, like, we can learn a little bit more about it. So, but you're right. Like, this is a big test. John is the guy, right, that, like, everybody knows and everybody wants to get into the ring with. So this is huge. Also, I could say for Stretch, I've watched him go through doors with ornaments, in front of me, pretty much. So, so he must be, like, really ecstatic for this match. So, I don't know.
Definitely
a test.
He's a little wild, man. He's since I've known him, like, before he actually had his first match, like, this was his goal, was like to be like a deathmatch guy.
Yeah, definitely.
So I consider him a friend, so I'm really happy to be giving him these opportunities and these platforms.
Definitely. Oh, what's up, Captain Dave? How are you? So it was funny because I know I was talking to Mittens. I was with Mittens the other day at Creative Pro, and he was telling me that he's coming to your show. So we were talking a little bit about that, So that's pretty awesome. So he'll like all that. You gotta love the like the deathmatch scene and all that. So gotta spread the love all over the place. So here, let's talk about this one. So like I want to talk. One of my favorite teams, the Rep versus Codename Nemesis. Oh man, I feel like this is gonna be a massive like bloodbath match, pretty much. It's like shit.
It's funny because like it seems like every show I'll have like some match that's like there's like these death matches with like glass and tubes, and there's like one match that's like that could be more violent.
Yeah. Yeah. But it doesn't even need to like with anything in it, but it's just like the Rep. And like I mean I always talk about it, right? Like you always see my tweets talking about the Rep, and I was like the Rep should be all over the freaking place. I was like it's just ridiculous. They're so damn good. They're definitely like one of my favorites. They've been on this podcast too. If you want to learn a little bit more about them, if you're not familiar with them, definitely go back on the channel and go check them out. So but it's nice because I've been kind of like seeing them like a little bit more at different promotions, which is also great. But yeah. Smash. You do have a good mind that you put like things that you don't really see. So
yes,
that's the great thing, and I feel like that's such a huge thing with independent wrestling because you do see a lot of the same stuff, right? So what's going to attract me to come to like a show is something that I haven't seen, So this is crazy. And I think you're right. I think this is going to be more violent than anything on this card.
Yeah, I mean, the Rep have proven themselves like that.
Yeah.
Quite possibly the match of the night every BloodStorm show.
Yeah.
Like they've had some great ones. Like they wrestled the main event for us. They wrestled above the rest.
Mm-hmm.
They had a great match with Violence is Forever last show.
Yeah.
I just want to say that they beat Violence is Forever, and yet they still weren't even in the IWTV tournament. It's not right to me, but it's not
there was
my
a
call.
lot that should have been in the tournament. I just feel like, but there's so many teams. It's ridiculous.
There's a lot of great teams out there, but it's just like they were like near and dear to me. So I was like, what?
Yeah.
Why did they not?
I want the Rep and Miracle Generation to wrestle. Also because of the fact that I had this conversation with who was it? Nate. That I was like, we were talking about, he's like, I want to work Miracle Generation. He's like, I want to throw Kylot around. And he was like, so I want to see it.
He definitely can.
I'm here for it. Chop City, pretty much from Dave.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So, yeah. So talk a little bit more like about this match. Like,
yeah. And then, so, people know the Rep, and then there's Codename Nemesis.
Yeah.
Which are the less experienced team. That's Lindsay Snow, the American Kaiju,
Mm-hmm.
and Mother Endless, who has been with us every show since the beginning. Yeah. And I kind of have like the love-hate joke with Mother. Oh, she's such a pain in the ass, but it's like she's so unique, and I see so much potential that I don't quite understand why a lot of more companies aren't
right.
Mining that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm happy to, be one of the places giving her a platform.
Right.
Because I think she's just like very intriguing to watch. She has a cool style. She does just weird off-kilter shit that's like you never quite know what she's gonna do.
Yeah.
And then Lindsay Snow is one of the most violent women you could possibly think of. She's like the most chill, sweet girl, but like in the ring, it's like she will kick the hell out of you. She may hit you with a light tube. She will break your arm.
Yeah, I feel like more though. I want to see more of her. Like it's been a while since I've seen her like in person.
Yeah.
But I love seeing her around. Like so this is like a really insane tag team. Like so then you're putting them all together. Like
yep, and we're going to be determining our tag team titles in this match as well. So
that's amazing.
We have like a working relationship with another company. Most likely be starting up soon in the New York area,
mm-hmm.
and we're kind of sharing the belts. So it's the tri-state tag team titles.
Mhm.
So right now they're going to be determining BloodStorm Pro. When this other company gets up and running, the belts will be defended there.
Oh, that's
So this
interesting.
is to, you know,
So then you also
and
have
we'll
like
kind
that
of
crossover too that you can
exactly
kind of do. So if you're not running, because you run like sometimes like what, twice a year, I think it is.
yeah,
It's about twice a
unfortunately.
year.
I'd
So
love to run more.
so like if you're not running and like they're running, they could be defended
Exactly,
there.
yeah.
So I kind of like that idea. So or like I could imagine even like the cross, you know, to have it with that other promotion, like maybe have 4 matches on, you know, with that promotion, and then you know kind of like a super card, pretty much, and then like another 4.
Pretty
That'd be kind of like cool to see too. So neat.
Yeah.
So
It's all cool.
so we'll see debuting, you know, belts pretty much on this show. So I don't know. You guys let me know. Who do you think's gonna, you know, come home with some gold? I don't know. Like, this is crazy. I don't know. I don't have a pick. I kind of want to say the rep because I have that, like, you know, soft spot for the rep. But
Yeah.
I don't know. This is just crazy. This is, I don't know. I'm sticking with the rep pretty much.
I mean, they're definitely, yeah, they're definitely the more experienced team. But I
Right.
will say this much: like the one codename Nemesis match that we had on our last show, they, for a team that had just basically been like, you know, put together for that show,
Mhm.
and like, you know, and going forward, but
Yeah.
they meshed incredibly well. Like there wasn't, you wouldn't have known it was their first match as a team. I'll say that much.
Well, that's good. That's good when you
Yeah.
have that chemistry, because sometimes like you have tag
Exactly,
teams
yeah.
together, and it just doesn't work or doesn't make sense. But just like, you know, if you've never seen them wrestle, you know, together before, if you didn't watch like the last one, it just like seems like it would make sense
Yes.
chemistry wise. So, oh man, so yeah, this is definitely one that I'm excited to watch. But speaking of excited matches, I want to talk about this one because this was like one of my favorite matches that's going right now. Lucky 13, Gabriel Sky, Austin Luke. Let's freaking go. Okay.
I figured that was going to be the one you're going to
This
mention.
is my favorite. Well, you know. Let's go.
I was putting that one together like Tiffany's going to like this.
Flippy. Like even if like, but yeah, Austin now does like flippy shit too, which is great because I remember one like when he went up to Wrestle Open one day, and then him and Reed and Marcus were wrestling, and I'm like, where did this flippy shit come from? Like, you're like Mr. Technical guy. I was like, where does this, what happened here?
It's funny because like again, like knowing Austin like since he started,
Yeah.
he was more like the high flyer when he started,
Mhm.
and then like kind of like your Dylan McKay's
Yeah.
and like Marcus came up, and he's like, all right, you know what? He's like, they're doing the high flying, I'm going to do my own thing. But I mean, he can still, you know, he can still bust out a 450 if he wants to.
Oh yeah, definitely. So like, and then he has a beautiful bridge. I have to throw that in there because everybody knows like I love the bridge. So it's funny because like one day he's like, "Did you like my bridge?" He's like, "I can do a good bridge." I'm like, "You can do a good bridge." I was like, I give you a lot of credit. I was like, "You did a beautiful bridge or whatever." So, but you know, Gabriel Sky's another one, you know, making waves pretty much, running all over the place,
Yeah.
you know, above the rest. Even him, you know, doing alone, remarkable champion right now. Again, it's just insane seeing him and Tristan Ty all over the place. I know they're going up to Limitless soon. So very, very big. Love him. I mean, obviously, they're very familiar. Him and Austin are very familiar with each other as well.
They've wrestled a few times.
Yep. And Lucky 13, I mean, everybody should be wanting to wrestle Lucky 13. That should be on everybody's bucket list.
Absolutely one of like the best going, and it's just I don't understand how he has any time to himself where he's
Yeah.
not booked.
I think you and
But,
me had talked about that the last podcast, that,
Yeah.
you know, he should be everywhere, but the fact that it's like softball, that he plays like softball and everything else that he does, and it's just, but I know that he's on like a bunch of people's like bucket list to like wrestle,
Yeah.
and he's so good. So
Yeah, he's just incredibly versatile,
yeah. So
and that's what like I think is fun about this match is like, so Austin Luke is like, you know, he's like the striker, technical guy, but he has done like deathmatch stuff.
right.
And then you have Gabriel Sky that's like, he can do like the striking and he's the high flyer. Hasn't really done deathmatch stuff though. And then Lucky is like the high flyer who's also done deathmatch stuff. So it's like a rock, paper, scissors kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like they all kind of have like, some skill that like they can exploit over someone else, but then someone else is on their wavelength with that.
Yeah.
So I think that's, it could be a very interesting dynamic with that.
Right.
And,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, this
I'm
is not
really
a sleeper
kinda
match. This is not. This is you have to pay attention. You're gonna miss out. Like that's how good,
Oh yeah.
This is a me match. This is like you said. This is 100%. This is just a me match. Like I love all three. And like I wouldn't think to put them together, but it makes so much sense to put them together.
Right.
So this is something that could really steal the show. So
Yeah, and like I said, it's like the kind of thing I like having on because like we push the deathmatch stuff hard because that has like a very like a diehard fan base that's easy to market to and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But like I love having stuff like this on the show too. That's like completely the other end of the spectrum.
Right.
But it's a nice like palate cleanse, so you're not just watching death matches in a row, which I mean some people enjoy doing. It's a little much for me.
Right.
But
it breaks
I
it
like
up.
the change of pace.
It definitely breaks it up. It gives you like a little, and like just looking at this card, you have just so many different things in it. And of course, like I love deathmatch wrestling too. But sometimes it's nice to kind of have like a little bit to showcase a little bit of everything. So
yeah, it's like like I always say, wrestling is like music, and it's like when I had my iPod, it wasn't all just like death metal or whatever. It's like you need like other things to like. Sometimes you're in a different mood, and you don't want that,
Right.
So
yeah.
you have to have all your different styles covered.
Definitely. So this is a stealer. This one's got like me completely on it. Like, so I think this was like one of the first ones you announced that I was like, this is me. Like, this is totally me. So I can't even pick like who I think is gonna win this match. I can't because I love all three of them. So I'm staying completely away. I'm staying neutral pretty much for that because then they'll all come at me pretty much. I feel like so, but yeah, so let's talk about the other tag team match that you have here. So we got Dead Silence. So I like this. This is gonna be interesting. And Smiley and Elijah Eden. So ooh, with Trixie, of course, love her. So this is a wild match because Smiley's all over the place.
Yeah. Oh, Smiley's another one of my favorites. This is going to be the first time we've had Trixie and Elijah Eden in for us, so I'm excited about that also.
Awesome.
So this match stemmed from a couple of shows ago. Smiley beat the Whisper in a singles match.
Mm-hmm.
Last show he was wrestling Gory,
Mm-hmm.
and during the match, Whisper came out to distract him. Gory crotched him with a meat hook, which was pretty rough to see. And it led to Smiley being defeated in Bloodstorm for the first time.
Wow.
So it became obvious that, Whisper and Gory have something going on together, and Smiley has a tag partner. Let me bring my tag partner, and we'll wrestle them. So that's our background for this one. I think it, again, potential show stealer, because, I mean, all these guys can do that lucha style, but they can all kind of go in different directions from there. Like, Gory is a little more violent guy.
Mm-hmm.
Smiley has his, crazy moves and everything that you never quite know where he's coming at you from.
And the mind games.
Exactly.
And then you got Trixie there, so she ain't playing no shit either. She'll fuck you up.
Yes.
So, don't mess with her. Like, she ain't here for your shit, pretty much. So, oh man. So yeah, this is definitely gonna be fun. So I don't know. Is Smiley gonna come out with all the Smiley people? You never know.
It's kind of like I am kind of interested to see what kind of demeanor Smiley has for this, because I mean he can't be happy about what happened last time.
So I don't know.
Maybe a little less wacky than usual. We'll see.
I don't know. We might get Dark Smiley. Who knows? Like Dark Smiley is not one to play with pretty much here.
Like the Tank Clan.
Yeah, I don't know, but hey, maybe Whisper's gonna come out with the yo-yo and You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like you never know. You don't know. So yeah. So this is gonna be fun. Like I definitely think this is gonna be a really like fun match and interesting match to see. So the other one that's announced. So Tremont versus the Carver. This is the first time ever, correct?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
This will be our main event. So fans bring the weapons match, which is one of Tremont's specialties. But
Yes.
any kind of hardcore death match can be one of Matt Tremont's specialties.
Yes.
He's done everything 100 times.
Oh man, any like requests that you would like the fans as fans bring? You know, any requests of like what to bring?
You know, I didn't just anything your diabolical mind can come up with. I'm very interested to see.
Is there anything like you've seen that you're like, wow, that's like completely out of the box, like bizarre, like damn, I wish I came up with that kind of deal?
It's actually been a little while since I've seen anything like too crazy. So I would definitely I would love to see something again, because like I remember like, you know, so many things like the first time you see him, like, you know, like when people like did like the light tube fan on the rake, like the first time you saw that, it's like, what the hell?
Yeah. Now it's like
I
staple, right? Like that you see it like all the time. So I'd like to see the interesting stuff. The last one that I seen like fans bring weapons was Russellville. It was Becca versus Alec Price, and the stuff that the fans were coming out, they were coming out with rhinestone shoes, like with heels. Complete. I was like, wow. I was like, where do you like you see like rhinestones flying all over the place? So obviously this is gonna be a lot darker, you know?
Yeah, I would assume.
Maybe we'll see some rhinestone, like, you know, the knives, like plastic, not real knives, like, you know, like the ones that
I mean, yeah.
not real ones. But I'm talking like Party City kind of thing, you know, like the stuff that like you hang out the garland pretty much, like all stringed pretty much. I feel like that would be kind of cool to kind of see. So, oh man, I definitely want to see that. I want to see, like, I'm sure Mittens is probably planning something, because Mittens always like bringing stuff.
I hope so. He has a great imagination for this stuff, so I definitely hope he puts something together.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
Yeah, and this match kind of stems from on our last show, Carver lost in the main event, and it's the first time he lost in BloodStorm.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of flipped out and lost his shit and beat up a bunch of the students and people helping in the building, which are all basically Matt Tremont's kids.
Right.
So kind of since then, he's been on Tremont's radar, and it's kind of, we were able to, you know, put the dates together and everything, but Matt wanted a piece of him off that. So he actually, and Carver put out a video last night. It's on our Twitter page, like a little hype video for the match. And it's pretty incredible and unsettling and scary for what he could possibly have in mind.
Oh boy. Ooh, interesting to see. I like hype videos. I feel like there should be more like hype and promos, and I'm very big into like that. I feel like it's starting to become like a lost art, unfortunately, and it's like one of my favorite things about wrestling. So
You just need the right people to do that sort of thing. We actually we put a couple of things out for this. Excuse me. Put out a couple for this one.
Yeah.
We've had some videos. There's this guy, Vinny Tolada. It's the Vatican, apparently. That, you know, I have some partners on the show and stuff. I don't do everything myself, but apparently he's going to be on the show, and I have no idea what he's doing or like kind of what, you know. I don't know too much about him other than he seems to be like a kind of a rich kid from Philly, really into sneakers, stuff like that. So I don't quite know how he's going to fit in BloodStorm, but you know, again, some of the stuff's kind of out of my hands.
Right.
So we'll see what happens with that on Sunday.
Interesting. So I'm sure there's going to be other things going on the show that's maybe not announced. You know, one of those things like stay tuned, pretty much kind of deal. Is there like anything like, I guess we should expect surprises, correct?
Yeah.
So
like we have a couple of people that have kind of asked to do things, and you know, we haven't officially announced them, but you know, we'll probably have some interviews and things like that on the show. Maybe some people that are going to be doing things with us in the future, and we'll see that.
Awesome. I'm really excited for this. So here, I'm going to flash back up for you guys that are watching live so you guys can see all the match graphics. So I'm really looking forward to this. So is there going to be, do you know when your next show after this maybe if people can't make the show, or it's one of those like kind of stay tuned?
We're still kind of trying to nail down a date because the H2O building is very in demand, and Matt kind of doesn't book it out too far in advance. So I've been in conversations with him, but it's probably going to be another few weeks after the show until we have like a date solidly nailed down. But it'll most likely be in the fall. I kind of try to avoid running the building in the summer. If you've ever been to an H2O show,
it's hot.
I can't do it personally, so
I feel for everybody that
sometimes
wrestles
just
in there.
spring and fall.
Yeah, I feel for everybody that goes in there. I've been in there plenty of times. I'm like, oh, it's too hot in here.
Yeah, I think they did the IWTV 100 that they did.
Oh my god, me and Gino were talking
And
about
it was
that.
packed in there in like middle of August.
Oh, it was hot. It was bad. Yeah, me and Gino were talking about that on our podcast. That was rough. Even like Adam Priest was on recently. We were talking about that too. But it's so awesome to see everybody that comes in and out of that building. And but yes, so this is definitely this is stack hard. This is gonna be fun. Again, this will be live on IWTV. What's it called? So tickets are still available. So I put the link in the description for you guys. So if you want to buy tickets. So, but I saw also too they can email you as well and pay at the door.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say that if you want to reserve, you can either contact us on any of the social media or at bloodstormpro@yahoo.com, and we'll set you up if you want to reserve front row or anything. If you just want general admission, you can just pay at the door. That's fine.
Yeah, and bring cash too, because you're doing just cash.
Yeah,
I always make sure of that. Yeah, it's just better. It's just bring cash, because I watch people come in and that they don't have cash, and there's a Wawa up the block, so that you could go there. You can get the ATM up the block pretty much, but definitely buy cash, bring cash. Buy your tickets or reserve it before. Like I said, all that links in there.
It's always good to if you, of course, if you have the extra cash, it's always good to have it on hand, because we'll have guys selling shirts and merchandise and stuff like that. We're trying to get vendors involved more as we go.
That's cool.
So just because I love flea markets and stuff like that. So to me, it would be super cool if you could go to a wrestling show and have the guys selling the merchandise, and we might set up a table and sell dollar comics or something because there's so much overlap between wrestling fans. They have other interests. They collecting things and stuff like that. So it's I think it's cool if you can sell videotapes and comic books and just shit like that.
Yeah. Well, I think people what I was just talking about, that if you do have a business, you should reach out to them. And you never know, maybe you could set up a table or something, so definitely me in talks with Travis Doom here pretty much. Again, all the links are in the description. So but go ahead, plug everything, just in case if they're lazy, you don't want to click everything.
Our Twitter is BloodStormPro1. I would never find out why we couldn't just be Bloodstorm Pro. I've never found that there is one. I just wasn't allowed to have it. So it's Bloodstorm Pro1 there. Bloodstorm Pro on Instagram and Facebook. We have a YouTube channel now, also under just Bloodstorm Pro, that we've been posting some of our promo videos and hype packages and stuff. So you can check those out. I think that's about our main social media presence. Other than that, all of our past shows are on IWTV. We have 4 so far.
Right.
This will be number 5.
So that's
exciting. That's about all I could think of on that.
But as I said, you're gonna have new tag team champions. You have a belt in the works coming up, and also this should be.
We'll have our tenders for the Deathcore title at the following show. So that'll be this one.
A lot of exciting things coming. So a lot of blood, a lot of flippy, a lot of different things on this card, which is pretty amazing. A lot of first times
Yeah.
matchups. What's the one that you're particularly looking forward to the most?
I think, again, really excited to see everything. I'm very
Yeah.
excited to see the Glass Hell tag match.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Rep and Codename Nemesis. I'm very excited for.
And if you guys are
But,
going to be front row, be careful with all the glass. I'm like usually
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this at shows.
we're gonna try to, like we're kind of doing like a modified setup. So we're,
Mhm.
Unless we get a lot of people that day, we're probably just gonna have like everyone on one side of the ring,
Mhm.
and hopefully,
Nobody gets hit.
the ultimate glass will be flowing in that direction. I'm hoping.
I just like to warn people, for that. Like if it is your first time going to one of these shows, just so so nobody gets upset because there's been, those things that happen at other promotions and stuff like that. So, if this is going to be your first time, just be very careful that, glass flies all over the place. So, it might be in your
It's
shoe.
Unfortunately.
I've walked out with shit in my shoe or in my
Oh, yeah.
shirt or whatever like that. It's happened to me before. So just be cautious and mindful of where everything's flying pretty much. But yeah, this is a really good
Yeah.
card. I'm excited to watch this definitely back. I wish I could be there. So much
We'll put you
wrestling.
down one.
Yeah, you'll get me down
Everyone.
one of these shows. So definitely. But again, I always watch, I always support, and I usually tweet out. So if you guys can't make it down there, watch it on IWTV, tweet, use the hashtag, all that fun stuff. That'll be posted on the live show. So did I cover everything? Did I miss out on anything? We pretty much broke down the entire card and everything. So okay.
So even a podcast about the shows are short.
What happened?
I said even the podcast about the show is short because that's I've always kind of consciously not had these 4-hour marathon shows.
Yeah.
Also, so
Nah,
it's I love wrestling, but it's I want to still love wrestling when I'm leaving the show.
of course. No, I think that's
You know,
good.
yeah.
It's like a
Because
nice.
when I came up,
Mhm. Go ahead.
I was gonna say when I came up, there was a company in New York called USA Pro
Mhm.
that was notorious for their show lengths. It was literally 5 or 6 hour shows every
Oof.
time. And by the time you leave that show, you do not ever want to watch wrestling again. You have to recover for a couple of days.
Yeah. Oh, it's like those ones that are days worth or whatever. It's I'm drunk off wrestling pretty much, or whatever. But I think between 2 and 2.5 hours is a good, time. It gives you what you came for. It's not so
Exactly.
lengthy. You can still enjoy it. And again, it's on a Sunday, so if you got nothing to do, it gives you a little bit that's not going to interfere. Oh God, I got to get up to work tomorrow, but I want to do something
Exactly, yeah.
on a Sunday, or Sunday TV sucks anyway. So it's turn on the app, pretty much, right? I hate
Yeah, it has to
TV
be not
Sundays.
football season or anything, right? Yeah, no, you're fine.
Nah, much love the wrestling scene. So pretty much nowadays it's wrestling's every day, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
which is kind of nice, but like you said, sometimes it can be a lot. Get drunk off wrestling pretty much. So, but yeah, I'm really excited. If anybody's looking to go to the show, again, you can buy the tickets. Again, the link's in the description, or you can email, reserve them or just buy them at the door. So, and then if you buy front row, we get a cool poster where usually all the wrestlers sign it, which is pretty neat too. So, and there's always usually stuff there to buy. So definitely check this out on IW. So 3 o'clock doors open, 4 o'clock bell time.
Probably more 3:30
3:30
doors
door.
and 4 p.m. bell,
Okay, so there you go. So yeah, so thank you for coming on here and talking a little bit about the show. Yeah, appreciate that you came
No,
on.
it's always fun.
Definitely. So thanks everybody who tuned on in. And if you're listening to this later, let me know what match you're looking forward to the most. Who do you think is going to win? Give me all your, your thoughts on it. So I will be back tomorrow with NFW Cody and TJ Crawford. We'll break down the NFW card. So like I said, panel week, pretty much. So
And they were on the same day as us. Which
yeah, sorry.
I feel like I ain't running against anyone, but
Yeah.
they're in a different part of the state and they're earlier in the day.
And they're earlier in the
So-
day. So probably, it's probably going to end probably because he kind of runs like same thing, 2.5 hours, like
Yeah,
you.
we basically may be starting as soon as they're
Yeah.
finishing.
So you can watch both, or you can be like me that you put up like 2 screens and support everything, So I try to do that. So. But
Good
yeah,
dudes up there. Support NFW also.
support all independent
Support us
wrestling.
first, but
Yeah, so support Bloodstorm, all that great stuff. Support all the workers, go buy their shit, all that fun stuff. So, but yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all your love. So stay safe, support independent wrestling. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good night.
Feeling miserable.